Hi! In today's video, I will list all weapons handed over to Ukraine by the West until June 4th, 2022. I would like to point out that I will focus only on what rides, flies, shoots, or a combination of these features, and I will ignore equipment such as food rations, medical equipment, all kinds of radars or protective equipment, such as helmets and bulletproof vests. I would also like to point out that some of the equipment mentioned in this video has been donated, but not yet shipped to the Ukrainian territory. Enjoy! Australia has donated 40 out of the approximately 1,020 owned armored vehicles Bushmaster's PMV, one of which has already been destroyed. 14 out of the 431 owned M113 AS4 armored personnel carriers, and 6 out of 54 owned 155mm M777A2 howitzers, together with ammunition. An unknown number of Phantom 4 surveillance and reconnaissance unmanned aerial vehicles. Belgium has donated 10,000 assault rifles, including FN SCAR-L, FN F2000, and 5,000 FN FNCs, 200 disposable M72 log unguided anti-tank weapons. Bulgaria has donated 14 Su-25s, 12 single-seat Su-25Ks, and 2 two-seat training and combat Su-25 UBKs. Probably 24 BM-21 Grad multiple launch rocket systems. And probably 24 D-20 howitzers. Canada has donated 4 out of 37 owned 155mm M777 howitzers with ammunition, including the latest M982 Excalibur GPS-guided artillery shells, 4,500 disposable M72 Law anti-tank grenade launchers, 100 Carl Gustaf M2 man-portable reusable anti-tank weapons with a supply of 2,000 rounds, 7,500 M67 hand grenades, 8 Rochelle Senator armored personnel carriers. Croatia has donated around 20,000 Zastava M70 assault rifles in different variants, and an unknown number out of 1,322 owned M57 60mm mortars. The Czech Republic has donated small arms and 3,775,000 rounds of small arms ammunition for them, 30,150 CZ82 pistols, 5,000 VZ58 assault rifles, 2,085 VZ61 Scorpion submachine guns, 3,200 VZ59 universal machine guns, 12 SVD Dragunov sniper rifles, 19 ZVI Falcon bolt-action bullpup anti-material rifles, 4,006 152mm artillery shells, an unknown number of CZ Bren 2 assault rifles, an unknown number out of 17 Mi-24 V attack helicopters that, interestingly, were transferred from Russia between 2003 and 2006 as a debt repayment, an unknown number of RPG-75 disposable anti-tank weapons, 160 missiles for the Strela 2 man-portable air defense systems, together with 10 launcher mechanisms, at least 5 BVP-1s, 56 ex-East German BMP-1s, probably all 38 VZ-77 self-propelled guns, at least 3 2S-1 self-propelled guns, at least 20, but possibly even all, out of 60 RM-70 multiple launch rocket systems, which were withdrawn in 2011. At least 40 out of 86 owned T-72 M1 tanks. An unknown number of the 9K-35M Strela 10M short-range self-propelled anti-aircraft missile systems. Denmark has donated the RGM-84 Harpoon Block IC anti-ship missiles, along with all of its 4 launchers, which were withdrawn from service in Denmark in 2003. 2,700 disposable M72 Law unguided anti-tank weapons, 50 M113 G3DK armored personnel carriers, some or all out of the 20 M10 mortars with ammunition, 300 missiles for the FIM-92 Stinger man-portable air defense system, together with launch mechanisms, 25 high-run surveillance and reconnaissance unmanned aerial vehicles. Estonia has donated 9 out of 42 owned D-30 howitzers, 7 out of 10 Mamba Mk2 wheeled armored vehicles, an unknown number out of 24 owned FH-70 towed field howitzers, and a significant amount, if not all, out of the 80 command launch units, and 368 missiles for the FIM-148 Javelin anti-tank guided missile launchers. Finland has donated 1,500 disposable unguided anti-tank weapons RAC-112 Apilles, or M72 Law, 2,500 assault rifles chambered in 7.62 by 39mm ammunition, most likely the oldest RK-54 and RK-56, together with 150,000 rounds of ammunition for them. France has donated from 6 to 12 out of 77 owned 155mm Caesar self-propelled guns, over a dozen Milan-2 anti-tank guided missile launchers with a small number of missiles, and an unknown number of missiles and launch mechanisms for Mistral man-pad. Germany has donated 100,000 DM-41 hand grenades, 3,000 DM-31 anti-personnel mines, 1,600 DM-22 anti-tank mines, 3,000 DM-31 and AT-2 anti-tank mines, 100 MG3 universal machine guns, 3 million 5.56 by 45mm NATO rounds, 5 million 7.62 by 51 NATO rounds, 3,000 rockets for the Panzerfaust III, together with several hundred launchers, 15 Gepard self-propelled anti-aircraft guns, together with 60,000 rounds of ammunition, 14 Volkswagen Amarok armored cars, one of them has already been lost, 4 out of 41 Mars 2 multiple rocket launch systems, 500 missiles for the FIM-92 Stinger man-portable air defense system, 2,000 missiles for the Strela 2 man-pad, together with several hundred launch mechanisms, 7 PZH-2000 self-propelled guns, together with ammunition. Germany has also announced the delivery of 1 battery of Iris-T SLM surface-launched air defense missile system, an unknown number of surveillance and reconnaissance unmanned aerial vehicles Vector. Although it was not a donation, it should be noted that Germany has also sold 5,100 Matador disposable anti-tank weapons to Ukraine. Great Britain has donated 50,000 L109A1 hand grenades, about 30 out of 126 owned L119 light howitzers, 100 missiles for Starstreak man-pad, together with a small number of launch mechanisms, a small number of a new state-of-the-art missiles and launch mechanisms for the Marlet man-pad, over 5,000 disposable N-Law anti-tank weapons, an unknown number of missiles for the FIM-148 Javelin anti-tank guided missile launchers, an unknown number of Malloy T-150 transport drones, 40 vehicles from the CVRT family, such as the FV-103 Spartan armored personnel carrier or the FV-107 Scimitar armored tracked reconnaissance vehicle, a small number of Stormer HVM self-propelled air defense missile systems, 80 wheeled APCs with increased protection against mines and ambush attack, such as Husky, Mastiff, and Wolfhound, 13 Toyota Land Cruiser armored cars, an unknown type of loitering munition, probably 25 Fire Shadows, an unknown number of Brimstone Sea spear-guided missiles for elimination of naval targets, such as small ships, as well as a variant for the elimination of land targets, such as tanks. Here, fired from an interesting platform, namely a van. An unknown number of RGM-84D Harpoon Block 1C anti-ship missiles. An unknown number, but it will likely be just a few out of 44 owned GMLRS multiple launch rocket systems. Greece has donated 815 RPG-18 disposable unguided anti-tank weapons, 20,000 Kalashnikov assault rifles, together with ammunition, which interestingly came from a ship seized in 2013 headed for Libya and stopped in Greek territorial waters, and 122mm missiles for a Soviet-origin multiple-launch rocket systems. Italy has donated over a dozen Milan II anti-tank guided missile launchers, together with a small number of missiles, an unknown number of Panzerfaust III recoilless anti-tank weapon launchers, together with rockets, an unknown number of missiles for the FIM-92 Stinger man-portable air defense system, an unknown number out of the 163 owned FH-70 towed howitzers, an unknown number of 120mm mortars, an unknown number out of approximately 2,000 owned Iveco LMV armored vehicles, at least 10 50 caliber Browning M2 machine guns, an unknown number of Beretta MG42/59 universal machine guns, Latvia has donated possibly all 50 missiles for the FIM-92 Stinger man-portable air defense system, together with launch mechanisms, 90 surveillance and reconnaissance unmanned aerial vehicles Penguin C, Lithuania has donated 20 M113A1 armored personnel carriers, 10 Humvees, presumably all 54 missiles for the FIM-92 Stinger man-portable air defense system, together with all 8 launch mechanisms, probably all 120mm 18M 1943 mortars, and 20 2B11 120mm mortars, an unknown amount of ammunition in different calibers, an unknown number of hand grenades, probably the RGD-5 and RGO-78, an unknown number of the EDM-4S UA anti-drone jamming rifles, Luxembourg has donated all 100 NLAW disposable anti-tank guided missile launchers, some or all out of 42 M1114 Humvees, the Netherlands has donated an unknown number of around 85 owned YPR 765 tracked light armored vehicles, that is, all variants, except the armored recovery vehicle configuration, which were decommissioned in 2012. 50 Panzerfaust III recoilless anti-tank weapon launchers, together with 400 rockets, 100 sniper rifles with 30,000 rounds of ammunition, including 90 sniper rifles chambered in the 338 Lapua Magnum Accuracy International AWM, Accuracy International AX308, chambered in 7.62 by 51 NATO round, and 10 Barrett M82A1 anti-material sniper rifles, chambered in 50 BMG. 5 out of 57 owned PZH 2000 self-propelled guns, together with ammunition. an unknown number of RGM-84C Harpoon Block 1B anti-ship missiles, 2 Seafox 1 remotely operated underwater vehicles for locating and destroying naval mines, 200 missiles for the FIM-92 Stinger man-portable air defense system, together with 50 launch mechanisms. Norway has donated around 100 missiles and a small number of launch mechanisms for the Mistral man-pad, 4,000 disposable M72 Law unguided anti-tank weapons, more than 20 out of 55 owned M109A3GN self-propelled guns, New Zealand has donated a small amount of 105mm ammunition for the L119 light howitzers, Poland has donated 10,000 FB MSBS Grot assault rifles, 232 out of 301 T-72M, M1, and M1R tanks operated by the Polish Armed Forces, 58 out of 1,104 BWP-1s operated by the Polish Armed Forces, together with the ammunition for their low-pressure 2A 28-gram guns, 36 out of 362 owned 2S1 self-propelled guns, 24 out of 93 owned BM-21 Grad multiple-launch rocket systems, 18 out of 80 owned AHS Crab self-propelled guns, an unknown amount of the 1,300 ordered missiles for the PPZR Piorun man-portable air defense system, together with an unknown out of 420 ordered launch mechanisms, 100 out of 648 60mm LMP 2017 mortars delivered to the Polish Armed Forces, together with 1,500 mortar rounds, 8 sets out of 10 owned WB Electronics Warmate loitering munition systems, each with 10 kamikaze drones, at least 8 WB Electronics fly-eye surveillance and reconnaissance unmanned aerial vehicles, probably all 24,589 RPG-76 Komar disposable anti-tank weapons, 43 armored vehicles AMZ Kutno Zeke 2, which were decommissioned back in 2014, a small number of 40mm RPG-40 revolver-type grenade launchers, 100 R-73 thermal-guided air-to-air missiles for MiG-29, Su-25, and Su-27 aircraft, 30,000 rounds of 5.56 by 45mm NATO ammunition for assault rifles, and 23mm ammunition for anti-aircraft guns, such as ZU-23-2 or ZSU-23-4 Shilka, 1,770 152mm artillery shells, Portugal has donated an unknown number out of over 200,000 owned H&K G3A3 and A4 rifles together with ammunition, 4 armored vehicles Iveco VM90P, 15 out of 176 owned M113A1 armored personnel carriers, 5 out of 24 owned 155mm M114A1 towed howitzers, Slovakia has donated the only battery of the S-300 PMU air defense system, together with all 45 missiles, 12,000 120mm mortar rounds, 486 missiles for the 9K38 Igwa man-portable air defense system, together with 100 launch mechanisms, and unspecified anti-tank missiles, probably the 9M113 Konkurs, 8 out of 25 ordered for the Slovakian Armed Forces Zuzana II self-propelled guns. Slovenia has donated several thousand Zastava M70 assault rifles, together with 7.39mm ammunition for them. Probably all out of 46 owned M84A4 sniper tanks. Spain has donated 700,000 small caliber ammunition, an unknown number of semi-AMLE light machine guns, 20 Euro VAMTAC armored cars, 1 RG-31 vehicle with increased protection against mines and ambush attack, 1,370 Alcotan 100 anti-tank rocket launchers, together with an unknown number of missiles, and Instalaza C-90 disposable anti-tank grenade launchers. Sweden has donated 15,000 disposable AT-4 anti-tank weapons, 90 rifles, probably Barrett M82A1, together with ammunition, an unknown number of Robot 17 anti-ship missiles, together with launchers. Turkey has donated an unknown number, but probably less than 24, Bayraktar TB2 unmanned combat aerial vehicles, together with armament. An unknown number of surveillance and reconnaissance unmanned aerial vehicles, Bayraktar Mini UAV. The USA has donated 200 out of 13,000 owned M113 tracked APCs in the A3 variant, 108 out of 999 owned 155mm M777 howitzers, together with 209,000 shells, 20 Mi-17 V5 helicopters, originally intended for Afghanistan. Interestingly, these helicopters were bought by the United States in Russia in 2011. 60 million rounds of ammunitions for small arms, mortars, and artillery shells of various calibers. 5,000 rifles and assault rifles, including M4A1s and M14s. 1,000 Beretta M9 pistols. 400 machine guns, including the Universal M240 and Browning M2. 400 Mossberg 500 shotguns. 6,000 disposable AT-4 anti-tank weapons. About 300 launch mechanisms, and over 5,000 missiles for the FIM-148 Javelin anti-tank guided missile launchers. At least 200 Carl Gustaf M4 man-portable reusable anti-tank weapons, with a supply of ammunition. At least 1,000 M141 BDM disposable grenade launchers to destroy enemy fortified positions. An unknown number of directional anti-personnel M18A1 Claymore mines. An unknown number of M203 40mm underbarrel grenade launchers, 170 Humvees, an unknown number of M142 HIMARS multiple launch rocket systems, but it will likely be just a few launchers out of more than 400 owned, together with M30 GMLRS rockets with a range of up to 60 kilometers. Approximately 1,400 missiles for the FIM-92 Stinger man-portable air defense system, together with launch mechanisms. An unknown number of M32A1 revolver-type grenade launchers. About 200 Mk19 40mm belt-fed automatic grenade launchers. Approximately 400 miniature Switchblade kamikaze drones. 121 Phoenix Ghost kamikaze drones. Over 100 Quantix recon surveillance and reconnaissance unmanned aerial vehicles. An unknown number of RQ-20 Puma surveillance and reconnaissance unmanned aerial vehicles. An unknown number of AGR-20 Advanced Precision Kill Weapon System 70mm precision-guided rockets that can be launched from land platforms, as well as unmanned combat aerial vehicles, such as Bayraktar TB2, intended for destroying naval mines and fighting submarines. Probably 3 fleet-class unmanned surface vessels, In total, the following weapons were transferred to Ukraine: over 65 million various types of small-caliber ammunition, artillery, mortar rounds, and guided missiles, at least 175,500 hand grenades, at least 3,000 anti-personnel mines, at least 4,800 anti-tank mines, 31,150 pistols, 2,085 submachine guns, over 80,000 assault rifles, and machine guns, 400 shotguns, 131 designated marksman rifles and sniper rifles, about 75,000 disposable anti-tank weapons, approximately 1,000 launch mechanisms for reusable anti-tank weapons, together with at least 10,000 missiles, at least 318 tanks, around 850 armored combat vehicles, around 200 mortars of various calibers, around 200 towed howitzers, 129 self-propelled guns, at least 112 multiple launch rocket systems, 14 aircraft, 20 Mi-17 V5 helicopters, plus an unknown number of Mi-24Vs from the Czech Republic, 626 kamikaze drones, around 250 surveillance and reconnaissance unmanned aerial vehicles, an unknown quantity of transport drones from Great Britain, less than 24 unmanned aerial combat vehicles, 15 self-propelled anti-aircraft guns, approximately 900 man-portable and self-propelled air defense missile systems, together with over 5,000 missiles, probably 3 fleet-class unmanned surface vessels, and 2 remotely operated underwater vehicles. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Also, visit our second channel with military power comparisons. See you next time!